Hi, Vedika. Donald Trump went on a late-night social media spree, posting over 50 times on Truth Social. It was littered with conspiracy theories and other inaccurate claims. Talk us through it.
That's right, Sharon. Just hours before leaving for his high-stakes trip to China, Donald Trump went on a late-night social media tirade, posting 55 times in the span of about 3 hours, well past 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, in this Truth Social rant, he shared conspiracy theories that have been debunked. He shared AI-generated imagery and wildly inaccurate posts about his political rivals, but also his predecessors. And that included a frenzy of conspiracy theories about former President Barack Obama, attacking Obama and accusing him without evidence of treason and espionage. He reposted claims that Obama had wiretapped Trump Tower during the 2016 election, accusing Obama of treason by falsifying intelligence to initiate the single largest spying operation on American soil in US history to spy on Trump during the 2016 campaign. And he called for Obama to be arrested and prosecuted. Now, there is no evidence that anyone wiretapped Donald Trump in 2016, let alone Barack Obama himself. In fact, during Donald Trump's first mandate in 2017, the Justice Department said in a court filing that there was no basis to support this idea that Trump Tower had been wiretapped. Now, another thing that he shared was a fake quote that in fact had never been said, an imaginary quote, if you will, claiming that US Senator John Kennedy, Republican senator of Louisiana, was publicly demanding that Obama return $120 million that he allegedly earned through ownership related to Obamacare. We can see that fake quote there. Now, this never actually was said by the senator. He and his office confirmed to digital outlet Notice that they had heard of something floating around on the internet about this story. And he said, "I didn't say that. I don't know the basis of this." Now, another thing Trump shared was a link to a website filled with conspiracy theories about the Obama administration, alleging that Obama had covered up Hillary Clinton after she exposed and sold top secret information via her private email server. We have heard this one before. He also shared a bizarre AI-generated photo of Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe Biden in a very dirty-looking reflection pool outside the Lincoln Memorial, captioned, "Democrats love sewage." Now, overall, there was about 17 posts about Obama. There was 7 or so about Hillary Clinton. So I think it's fair to say, Sharon, that they were certainly on Donald Trump's mind during this long rant.
And Vedika, there were also multiple posts about his election defeat in 2020. Tell us about that.
That's right. Trump shared multiple posts spreading falsehoods about the 2020 presidential election that he lost. Several of them falsely claimed that voting technology Dominion had deleted 2.7 million Trump votes nationwide, including over 1 million votes from Pennsylvania switched from Trump to Biden, and that the CIA knew what these machines were capable of and brushed it under the rug to control election outcomes. Now, most of these posts were in a very similar vein, claiming that the 2020 election was stolen. Now, this is false information that does not have any backing behind it, but it is information that Donald Trump continues to rehash. We also know that in 2023, voting technology Dominion reached a $787 million settlement with Fox News to avoid a lawsuit that would have exposed how Fox News was promoting lies about the voting technology at the time being rigged. But Sharon, as I said, this is a hill that Donald Trump is clearly willing to die on, despite the facts, all the facts saying otherwise in this case.
And finally, Vedika, the US president also blasted the New York Times. What did he say about the paper?
That's right. He made a 400-word rant about the New York Times for its coverage on his project for the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. That's the image that we saw earlier in that AI-manipulated photo. Now, the New York Times had covered in its report that, in fact, Trump's project for the reflecting pool was a lot higher, that the price tag was a lot higher than the $1.8 million that he claimed it would cost. They'd also reported that, in fact, the job was handed out to a company that Trump had previously used to renovate part of his Virginia golf course. And therefore, Trump slammed the New York Times as a failing paper, one of the worst newspapers anywhere in the world, and saying that it's losing subscribers on an hourly basis. But nowhere in this rant did he dispute the numbers given by the New York Times with that price tag. He just chose to attack it for other things, to justify why his pool project was required due to failings allegedly by Biden and Obama. He attacked the reporter who wrote it. But this claim about the New York Times losing subscribers just simply isn't true. In fact, the paper has reported last week that it is in fact gaining in subscribers, that it had surpassed 13 million subscribers, saying that in just the first quarter of this year, it had noted 310 new digital subscribers alone. So whilst Donald Trump is entitled to his opinion on the quality of the New York Times coverage, and yes, there might be some people cancelling their subscriptions to the Times, it's certainly untrue that it is losing subscribers, because as we can see from the figures that it's reporting, it is in fact gaining them and not losing its readership.